doing your work, man. I appreciate you. I listen to you every day.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I'm going to just tell you now, 833-212-1017. Had an interesting conversation with a person this morning who's actually a listener of the new 1017 The Truth. And I mean, went through and told me every single show that's listened to, what they like about each person, the type of personality they are. I was like, wow, that was interesting. But one of the topics we had, even mentioned the morning show, weirdly mentioned Mel and Kyle. Like those are the two things they remembered from the morning show. I'm not going to tell you. It was a good thing. The fact that those were the positive things that they took from the truth, right? Sherwin Hughes, Tori Lowe, me, and then differentiated between the different personalities and on-air hosts. The producers, DJ Brother Z, DZ, Carrie. I mean, even down to Maya, Ben, had new people, Danny. But I was like, well, people pay attention. Yes, they do. Did I miss anybody? Cherie. It was just one of those conversations. But one of the topics that came up was MPS. And so what exactly is happening at MPS? I keep hearing about all the great things they're doing with kids, but I'm not really seeing any of the numbers and any of the information and any of the graduation rates and any of the, there's always an excuse. There's always a reason why something never quite happens at MPS. There's always, we need money. We need teachers. There always seems to be something. Here's my question. Has anybody gone back and looked at what money that they have spent and what they spent it on? When is somebody going to do a forensic audit of MPS? When will somebody go to court who has standing and step up and say, hey, where's all this money that we're spending on all these kids, but you didn't spend or do anything for the last 2 years? So if the school's been closed and you went around and gave kids Wi-Fi and all that, and half of them weren't on, who's getting promoted? What's the follow-up from COVID? How much money did the governor give you, the federal government give you, the state give you? Where's all this money? What happened to the money you already had? That's what I want to know. And every time you do that, they mention one of two things. Well, no, actually three things. They mention choice. They mention charter. Well, actually, 4 or 5 things. They mention Republicans. They say Donald Trump. And then Black people take their eye off the ball and start getting upset and emotional about ridiculous stuff that has nothing to do with anything. Meanwhile, MPS still gets to go around and block us at every turn. I think the worst thing that ever happened to schools, I'm sorry to say, I support a lot of teachers. And I support and am a member of unions. Milwaukee Teachers Association, never. That's unfortunate. The way you hold our children hostage, the way it's always about the teacher no matter what. That's unfortunate. And so I say, where's the money? Let's start asking MPS where the money is. What have you spent? Let's take a look at Dr. Posley's contract. Let's take a look at the contracts of all these folks we hire to pay all this money. Who pays somebody over $250,000 a year and a school district is failing year after year after year after year? And then to have the audacity to blame it on what? The Republican legislature? You have a governor and DPI is separate and they do their own thing, and you still are failing our children. And I'm saying that because I'm a taxpayer. At what point are we going to stand up? Because June is coming. We let everything pass. Attendance, graduation, SAT, ACT, everything's gone. Like, we just gonna let everything pass. Let people drive around in cars. You don't have to renew your license plate. Well, because of COVID. Use COVID as an excuse for everything. And now we're out of it. Now we're past it. But that's why you want to keep kids in masks. That's why you want to keep teachers wearing masks, because we don't have to peel back and take a look at all the lies and all the garbage that you put our children through. That's unfortunate. You gotta take that purple off. That's terrible. Purple? Make it gold. That's unfortunate. But yet here we are. And then the first time somebody says something, what do? Start talking about the mayoral race. Start talking about, I just don't understand. Why is it nobody can ever keep their finger on the pulse of the Milwaukee public school system? Why is it that no matter what we do, they always seem to get away with anything? They back mayoral candidates that don't do anything. They back state representatives that don't do anything. County supervisors that don't do anything. State senators that don't do anything. Governors that don't do anything. Congressmen and women that don't do anything. U.S. senators that don't do anything. All they say is they're backed by the teachers union. And that's great. And you have a right to have a union too. But when your union is antithetical to the children they're supposed to serve, that becomes garbage. And I know you'll be bad. The kids, the union is garbage. Well, I think your leadership is garbage. And no, I'm not saying personally. It's not a personal attack. I'm speaking in terms, euphemism, whatever. I know they're hardworking people. They're paid to make sure they support it. But you cannot support a system that is failing a school district where the majority of the kids are Black and brown. You cannot support a school district and teachers and unions that are failing white kids either. What am I saying? It's all about the children. The way that we bring business to Milwaukee is to create life-sustaining jobs. And the only way you do that is through education. It may not be formal, it may not be college, but they still need education, and high school is the minimum. And you are doing a poor job at that. You should be called out. You should be brought up if you committed a crime on charges and put in jail for what you do. There is no other entity in the United States of America where if you came to work and gave 40%, you kept your job. Teachers can do that. Principals can do that. And they don't complain about it because the benefits are good. They don't complain about it because the pay is good. I don't care how much they scream and holler and complain. Let me get a job where I work 9 months out the year, 6.5 hours a day. Think I'm going to complain? You will lie. Say what? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't care if you work more than 6 hours. You're still getting paid. Do your job. Who goes to work and puts out a 40% of a product they're supposed to put out, and everybody says, okay, and then you have the audacity to ask for a raise? Get out of here. Get out. If you are a teacher and you are failing kids, and I know 95% of the teachers at the Milwaukee public school system are phenomenal teachers, but you're held back by a system with a union and a school board that does not care about children. And how many times do they have to do it? How many times do your kids have to fail? How many times do businesses not have to come to Milwaukee because they don't even have the baseline education level to get a job? And then somebody said this today. I was having a conversation with somebody and they said, oh, no, that's not it. They only want black and brown kids in those low-paying jobs. That's why they keep them like that. They don't want them to be smart enough to get a higher paying job. And you saw that when they were bringing Foxconn here. Who does that in the first place you go is not MATC to train people to get technical jobs. You went to Parkside. How many black kids at Parkside? And they're not from Wisconsin, they're from Illinois. Like, really? Okay. 833-212-1017. I'm just saying this. When we have to think about graduation, and the only thing you can come up with is MPS, if that's the only thing you can think of with graduation, next time you ask a kid and ask them if they graduated from high school, you don't have to bother. Just ask them what school district they went to. And they'll tell you MPS. And then you'll remember, oh, graduation, that's what it is. Graduation for high school at MPS is maybe, sometime, probably, and sometimes.
That is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Here at the new 1017 The